Uh-oh. Clicked the wrong thing. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the 10th floor. It's me, Matt.
Hi, everybody. It's Kat.
It has been an interesting YouTube morning. Either I couldn't log in or I just errantly click things. I don't know what's going on.
We almost didn't have no shows today at all because YouTube was being a little MFer.
It was. It kicked me out and then wouldn't let me back in because of two-factor identification. You know what I realized the problem was?
What was
I
that?
installed what they call a VPN on my computer, which is a
Oh.
virtual private network for added security. And it
Mm.
pretends I'm not where I'm at. It pretends I'm somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, it confused YouTube. Because it does
Oh.
this two-factor identification thing. And
Mm-hmm.
my computer was like, great, we're going to make sure you're you by triggering your phone. By the
Mm-hmm.
nature of a VPN, I could put my phone in Japan and my computer in Canada. And then
Mm-hmm.
the two-factor identification doesn't work because those two signals are in different countries.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, figured it out though.
You did.
I did.
We almost were showless today. Almost.
But I figured it out because I am a tech genius.
Um, no.
You can call me Elon Zuckerberg.
He's on Zuckerberg. I don't want to
No,
call you Elon nothing. Good
no,
grief.
my finger on the tech pulse has definitely moved on in my lifetime. I think I peaked in about 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Then after
I
that,
never
oh,
did peak.
it just accelerated too. Where I'm like iPhone 29. I
Mm-hmm.
remember when the first one came out. I remember my sister's little friend,
Mm-hmm.
Mateo or something, or Masato or something. I remember him. He had the first iPhone, and it was just the most amazing piece of technology.
Oh, I remember that.
You're right. Yeah, I think that was Tori's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Look at that. Oh, look at people that we know that nobody else does.
Yeah.
Making all these references where the audience is like, "Who the f are these people?"
Right?
Anyway, good morning, everybody. Get out of that waiting room, climb on into the elevator for a loosey goosey Sunday morning.
Loosey
We're
goosey.
gonna ascend all the way up to the 10th floor. It's me, Matt.
It's me, Cat.
And we're not here just by ourselves. Mom Kaiwan was the first one in the waiting room. Hey, Kaiwan. Chandra shortly afterward. Sindus joined us as well. Rochelle is here. And of course, people are piling in. It's only 11:10.
I know we got on
We're
early
early.
today, didn't we, you
We're
guys?
early. It's like,
we're, we're we're still late, but we're early.
what we gotta do is we gotta do like the onboard half hour, that's a separate show. It's very reminiscent of the Sarah and Vinny morning show, which is my radio and podcasting inspiration,
It is
where
actually.
their first half hour was structureless because it was 5:30 in the morning. It
Mm-hmm.
was the least amount of viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was tired, including the hosts. And they just
Mm-hmm.
played gentle music and was just like, what'd you do yesterday?
Oh.
Well, I went to the grocery store, bought my dot, and they were radio show hosts, so they were able to turn things into a story.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just chill. It was just like a chill half hour. Not about news, not about celebrities, not about the regular programming. Just sitting there and being like, so co-host,
Just being together.
being together, being friends, showing the relationship that they had formed
Yeah.
over 20, 30 years of doing the show
Yeah.
together. Anyway, inspirational.
Getting their creative juices flowing.
Yeah, just getting warmed up, getting that coffee flowing, transitioning from being dog tired because you woke up at 3:45 in the morning to get to the station in order to get started at 5:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
If not even earlier, because Bay Area, you don't live there if you work there.
No.
Even radio
Typically
show
you don't.
hosts.
I mean, if people do, but man, oh man, it's a commuter's area, that's for sure.
It
People can't
becomes
afford to live in the Bay.
it becomes less wise. Even when you're making a bunch of money, it's not wise because you're spending a bunch of money staying there. Be able to
Mm-hmm.
keep a lot more of your large salary if you weren't in the Bay Area itself, and a lot of these people do that, and they just bite the bullet. Vinny of the Sarah and Vinny half drove in from Santa Cruz to San Francisco daily
Oh, wow.
at 3 in the morning or whatever it was. There were times where he couldn't get there because of storms.
Oh, I bet.
He was blocked by the fire once.
I bet.
Yeah. Yeah,
About
wild.
5 years ago, there was a giant fire in the Santa Cruz
Hmm.
Mountain.
Yeah, yeah. And then finally when the pandemic hit, and this, I moved shortly afterward, but when the pandemic hit and then basically everything was shut down,
Mm-hmm.
they work for CBS, and CBS sent equipment to their houses
Oh, wow.
for them to be able to broadcast from their homes. And they did that. And we're like, do we ever have to go back to the studio?
Oh,
And the answer was yes, they did.
yeah, they did. Hmm. Sarah and Benny
uh,
still doing their thing?
yeah, yeah, still doing it. They're
Oh,
gonna
they
do it.
are, huh?
They're gonna do it until they're done. And I don't think
Okay.
Alice is gonna get rid of them.
Huh?
I mean, they're top in the ratings
Yeah.
often. They have been for a long time. I can't say they're the number one, but they're a solid performer.
Yeah.
And I don't think
So,
Alice would be able to get anything different. You know.
yeah.
Anyway, that was our little that was our little simple morning warm up, talking about nothing and
So
nonsense.
you told me who we were going to talk about
We're
first.
gonna talk about now that we're a little bit deeper in there. We got Melissa's here now, so now we can really get started.
Hey,
And
Melissa.
Carolyn's here. Hey, Carolyn. And Sabrina. Sabrina showed up as well.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Good morning.
Okay, now that they're here, we really can get started. The elevator doors have opened, but we're not in the hospital. We're on the 10th floor of the Metro Court,
Aren't we? Yeah.
where the
Aren't we
restaurant
at the
is.
restaurant?
I don't know if it's on the 10th floor. It's a big hotel, though. We've seen the exterior.
Mm-hmm.
I think the restaurant's on like the first floor. Or the
Probably.
ballroom's on the first floor, because I always do that entryway thing and then they go right into the. Anyway, who cares? You're in the Metro Court. And if you look to the
Mm-hmm.
right, you're going to see Carly hugging Olivia, hopping around.
Yes.
Being like,
Very excited with news.
I didn't do it, but I did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you got Sonny hanging out with Ava, right? And you see Sonny
Right.
sitting there. It's like, oh, what's going on there? Because she's so happy. It's not
Mm-hmm.
okay. It's not okay with me. She can't be happy. This Carly. She's got to be sad. Sad like me. That's Sonny. So he marches over there.
Sister, she's a traitor.
Right. So he marches over there, and his little unbalanced bipolar mind
Mm-hmm.
is like, you B word. Everybody's here to kill me. Like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
You getting your hotel back proves that everybody's out to get me. Paranoid. Paranoid. Beyond
Yes.
paranoid.
Yes.
Holy smokes. But of course, poor Nina, manipulated by Ava in this situation. Deserved, not, happy for it or not, whatever. Take your own personal opinion on the events for Nina. That is outside of what I really want to talk about, which is Emmy Award nominated Cynthia Watros, giving us memorable moments that we will not soon forget. Happy for her, sad for her, it doesn't matter.
No, doesn't matter. But oh my gosh, I think the character of Nina is gonna. She kind of reminds me of Valentine right now.
A little bit.
Kind of like throwing that "I'm going to be good" idea behind them and leaning back into their.
It hasn't been
What
working
they've been
out.
trying, what they have to try, because I think as villains, Nina and Valentine as villains, if you truly as their personalities, their character personalities, being bad is what feels natural to them. I think
Mhm.
doing the unsavory is
Yeah,
what
it's
feels
their first
natural.
instinct.
That's their first instinct. Yes, the unsavoriness is
And
their
they have
first
to,
instinct,
they have to do
and they have to talk themselves into
Exactly.
doing the right thing.
Right, right. They have to recognize that their first thought, no, if I do this, that, and the other thing, then it's not going to work out. I really have to push myself to not doing that and making a different choice.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Valentine has cast that aside. He's not having that inner dialogue so hard anymore. That devil and, the angel and devil here,
The devil killed the angel.
pretty much
Walked
right now
across
for
his
Valentine.
shoulders and just.
And I think, and I
Come on
think
back.
that Nina is going to do the same thing. With this happening,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. And I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it. I think we're going to see a Nina Ava battle.
Yeah, so I think that this is the act that pulls the focus off of Carly
Mm-hmm.
And Nina is now going to have a new target in mind when it comes to her life's rivalry.
Absolutely. And that's just going to fuel Ava to really try to have a relationship
Don't
with
even
Sonny.
know what really her plans are, what she wants to happen. So that's tough.
Yeah, we really don't even know what kind of agenda Ava has, really.
It really like every day seems a little bit different, and it has to be on purpose. It's not from inconsistency and not knowing what Ava's doing. It's to keep us off balance of being able to figure it out. Because
Because
sometimes
maybe,
she's given him a drink in front of Christina on Monday or Monday of
hmm
last week or whatever it was, and then on
hmm
Friday he's taken the drink out of his hand.
yeah, she did.
So like they're keeping us off balance.
hmm I wouldn't be surprised that Ava has an agenda the entire time, and we just have, as an audience, haven't been
Oh,
shown that.
she's absolutely, from the moment she moved in with Sonny or shortly thereafter, made a decision that she was going to work this situation into her. Whether or not that was present at the time, blah, 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 it doesn't matter. You know, it's what's happening now.
Yeah, and
And that's what matters.
maybe all along, her friendship with Nina was nothing but a ruse.
It's possible too, because if you think about it some, I mean, they came together and it was, they talked about how they didn't get along. They
Mm-hmm.
said literally, like I'm going to quote as best I can, we have to be friends, otherwise we're going to destroy each other.
Yes.
And so they carried forward and just started being friends as a way to not melt down around one another. But it could have been Ava's plan the entire time, some sort of long form revenge, because she is the one that pushed Nina to call the SEC.
Yes, she is. She like not really like push it, but she put the bug in her ear.
Yeah, she's like, oh, girl, you should do that, you know? And then
Uh-huh.
afterward played it cool, like, I was just being catty.
Right. But maybe she was manipulating her all
But
along,
it's
and
possible that, yeah, like
maybe
she's
she's
been
trying to get her revenge for
mhm,
Avery
for the Avery
all this
situation.
time.
You know, it's, you know, like you married Sonny, who's Avery's dad. Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. We really got to figure out. You know, we don't have to figure it out. The show needs to get to the point in which they're telling us
Mm-hmm.
what it is that Ava's up to. But
Yeah.
I'm for it.
And the look on Nina's face, though, where she was standing there, because she was all happy, she was all beaming proud. Like, I made a good old point with Sonny. Boy, oh boy, isn't this is good? She walked into that Metro Court just a shiny penny, thinking, oh boy.
Cynthia Watros will break your heart. Like Nina, don't like Nina. It doesn't matter. She will shatter your soul. Now, okay, if you really hate her, you probably loved it, seeing her upset.
She went
You're
like
like,
this.
yay!
She went from this to
And then the look over at Ava, and then Ava
ah.
uncomfortable look back at her, and it's a moment that I will not soon forget. And it just goes to show exactly why Cynthia Watros has the nomination this year,
and
because
I
of
and I
talent.
and I thought the look on Ava's face was kind of like, I'm caught, oh crap.
To a degree, I don't think
Sorta.
she expected Nina to be standing there, you know.
Mm-mm.
And it's not like Sonny's reactions to things are necessarily predictable right now either. I
Mm-hmm.
can assume that he will not be happy with this information. What he does with that at that point, I don't know.
And I don't think Ava knew. Wasn't privy to the fact that she had sold the Metrocourt at that moment.
No, no, I don't think. Yeah, she didn't quite know. The look on Ava's face, I think, was a reaction to Nina seeing that Sonny isn't happy about this, while Ava said she would be. Now he would be.
Hmm?
It's possible that she could have a subsequent conversation with Nina on Monday and be like, "Listen, I didn't know he was going to react like that. I thought he'd be thrilled." It
Mm-hmm.
seems as though there's stuff between Sonny and Jason I don't know about, and I'm so
Yeah, lie
sorry.
about it.
Please forgive
And she
me.
could lie about it on Monday. Yeah,
She can
she could.
absolutely could try to stay in there, but you know the big question is, will Nina trust it, believe it? Um, Drew seemed to be kind of weirded out by the whole situation, so I don't know what sort of influence that might have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm, mm.
I tell you, you heard of friends with benefits? I think he and Nina may remain enemies with benefits.
Yeah, you know, I mean that tension doesn't have seem to have subsided too much.
No.
Mm. Hmm.
No.
Hmm.
And Nina has a tendency to do destructive things when her when things are falling around her.
Oh yeah. She's gonna lash out.
She's fine for making a bad choice all the time.
Yeah, I don't, and it's great. It's a great position to be in because I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's gonna happen next. It's a bit unpredictable for me. I would like Nina. I'm a Nina fan, but I'm also an Ava fan. This is actually an
It is.
interesting dynamic that I'm looking forward to seeing develop. And who's going to be the hero? Who's going to be the villain? Are they both going to be villains trying to outdo one another in dastardly plans?
I wouldn't be surprised if they both have dastardly plans, but at the end, of course, when they continue after they continue to tell the story, one's going to be a victor and one isn't. But they could both be
They
dastardly.
sure can. They sure can. Chandra wonders what Ava's really up to.
Me too.
Melissa says, I'm not sure Ava is planning anything long term. I think it's more likely she's noticing situations arise and is adapting to those situations to give herself the best advantage.
Hmm.
Because
Well,
she didn't blatantly say, hey, Sonny, your beds are tampered with, but she got it confirmed and then said, hey, do those things even make you sleepy? Yeah,
she's
just get used
still.
to it.
I think she's, turning her gears and deciding what to do. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she fully knows, how widespread this could be. All his meds being tampered with. She doesn't know. She
Hmm.
doesn't know. But she's being very, very observant of Sonny, though, and she does know him pretty well, actually.
Just more mystery
And
out there when it comes to Miss Ava Jerome.
but at the same time, it is Ava. Ava, um, she'll let some bad things play out if it might be beneficial to her.
I don't know. Austin's dead. Nicholas is in jail. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Everything that she had been up to recently, she's not up to anymore.
Mm-mm.
So I don't know.
No.
I was
Oh
always
boy,
the
oh
Ava
boy.
in my friend group as a kid, says Melissa. Do it. Say it. You're gonna let him talk to you like that? She was always Estering, she says.
Mhm.
Chandra sarcastically replies, you, Melissa? Never. Kelly is late because we were on time. Isn't
I
that an
know.
interesting concept?
It is. It is.
You missed all the fun Ava Nina chatter, so, go back to watch that.
Yep.
Have we been only going for like 5 minutes? I feel like it's been like 7. The wedding of the century is upon us.
I think the wedding's going to be fun. I think the wedding's going to be fun, and I have a feeling something either big and dramatic is going to happen, or something super fun is going to happen.
Because well, they're trying to they're heating up the whole Sonny Jason tension and
Yes.
the BLQ Chase wedding. So on Twitter, I had people were like, oh, they're gonna, the bomb is gonna go off. There's gonna be a 3 people with machine guns, or they're gonna mow down half the cast. Like people are like, this is the royal red wedding of Game of Thrones, in which everybody dies and we only have 5 cast members left, and everything is glorious heaven. I don't foresee that happening. I do not see even really a mass culling coming from General Hospital. I think you might see some characters leave, some other characters come
I
in,
I
but we're
I
still
think
keeping 20.
I think they're totally setting it up where, because they've had some chatter about, oh, we need a backup for for um for someone to officiate. We need
Mm-hmm.
a backup, and the kids didn't take care of it. Okay, I'll take care of it. And then we have the rumblings that Mr. Cirillo's going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Lois's dad.
Yeah.
He's going to wind up doing the ceremony.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to expect with this.
And I think Gregory, something's going to happen. I don't necessarily think he's going to die at the wedding, but I think he's going to physically be unable to do it.
It really comes down to Brooklyn and Chase, honestly. What is the future for that couple?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Chase is a cop, so a couple of things. Chase is a chase, and so if something were to happen to Gregory, of course that would impact him.
Mm-hmm.
My dad collapsed at my wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Say Sonny and Jason get in a big fight, they pull a gun, and Sonny takes a shot at Jason. Nobody gets hurt. The ice sculpture explodes, but Sonny takes a shot at somebody at the wedding. Okay, Chase is a
Crazy.
cop,
Mm-hmm.
so that could be like now Chase is invested in taking Sonny down just as strongly as Anna is. Beyond those things, I don't know what sort of disaster at this wedding would do for our stories, you know?
Yeah. I don't know.
Because it's
We
just, it's
have that
basically
just a
just
jump off point for new stories, I
exactly if it
guess.
doesn't jump Brooklyn and Chase off into something new, then it's basically ruining their wedding for no real reason because they could have done this at any other location and time on the show, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I'm leaning still more towards something happens to Gregory than that's the time Sonny decides I need to protect myself.
I don't see Jason wanting to go to that wedding.
And then even then, Lois only asked the question: Should we invite Jason? They didn't actually send the invitation.
Yeah. And I thought it was a weird question because Jason is Brooklyn's cousin.
Yeah. Why is that a weird question then?
Well, I thought I would automatically be invited.
Oh well, just because you're blood related doesn't mean you have a relationship.
Yeah, that's true.
He had been dead for 2 years, and I don't know. He hung out with Brooklyn a little bit, but that was at the police station, and it's not like he sought her out. So I don't know.
No.
I don't know, because they are trying to keep things reasonable. Brooklyn and Chase had a conversation this week about spending within Chase's limits.
Yes.
And that's an interesting thing. Basically, Brooklyn. Now, it's interesting because I was listening to that and I'm like, oh, this is great. This is exciting, And then it's just like, I'm going to reduce down and we're not going to need too much and yada, yada, yada. And I'm sitting there going, but you still aren't going to have the pressure of not having money. Even if you're
No.
staying within Chase's means, that doesn't mean that you can't handle an emergency. So it's not
Exactly.
truly slumming it,
No.
because the
He's
money's still
slumming it
there.
on the most comfortable freaking mattress you can find.
Yeah, it's like, well, what if your family tries to give us money? Well, then we'll refuse it. What if your family tries to give us money because our baby only has one leg? Okay, I'm going to take that money, right? So,
Y'all be subjective.
yeah, it's super subjective, the thing. It's an interesting concept, though, and it's going to be hopefully very fun to watch Brooklyn try to reduce down what her native extravagance might be. Where she comes home spending, $425 at the grocery store, only buying 10 items, and Chase is like, okay. $425 should be at least 12 items. So, come on.
Why did you buy 10 jars of caviar when we don't have any bread?
Oh, we don't have crackers? You don't have a cracker closet? I thought everybody had a cracker closet. I'm joining Cameron Matheson later on Zoom. That's your Kelly Public Over Zoom update of the week.
Awesome.
So is he gonna take his shirt off, Kelly? Let us know.
Is he going to be by himself?
That seems like it. She usually says so and so and such and such, but this time it was only so and so.
So.
I think we talked about it a little bit last week too. That it was just gonna be him. Yeah, this is 1950s style thing that got done with chasing Brooklyn. Get them a better story, says Kaiwan. I guess it's a little too old school for Kaiwan's taste. Like they didn't date. They dated a little bit.
Oh, well, they did back and forth date quite a bit. They
kinda,
thought about dating a lot long.
there was a lot of like unofficial dating. I remember
Yes.
us talking a while ago on the podcast saying, listen, guys, Chase and Brooklyn have already sprung. They're already together. They just don't really notice. So I think
And
that's,
then, and of course, there was part one of There was part one and part two.
yeah.
Well, part one we didn't really care about very much.
I mean, we cared about it, and then Bailey left the house, and it kind of lost all of its umph. And then they had to reset it, just like they reset Liz and Finn. Oh, thank you very much, Sean, for your donation to Super Chat.
Thanks, Sean.
Chase and Brooklyn's honeymoon fund is what she's calling it. So contribute to the fun, folks. If you want Chase and Brooklyn to have a great time over in
because he sold his truck.
Italy,
They're going to Florence. Yeah.
Florence, Italy.
Yeah.
Contribute to the Chase and BLQ honeymoon fund with super chat and super thanks. Thanks everybody.
Yeah, they're going to go to Florence. They're excited about it. And he had to sell his truck.
So,
And
Italy is not far from France.
what?
Italy is not far from France.
No, they're neighbors, aren't they?
Will Chase and Brooklyn find Spencer?
I heard something about that.
Somebody said that to us on
About that.
Friday on our special Friday Emmy show.
I saw rumbling about that. You
No,
never know.
no. I remember because I think it was. I don't think it was this David. It was another person it was Blink. Blink was like, oh, this is happening. And I'm like, Blink, you've been lied to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch that on.
We
We
don't
did a
really know,
special.
though.
No, we don't. Of course, we don't know these people. We're not back there.
Yeah, we don't know.
But as far as I understand, we still don't have a new Spencer, so don't expect him to show up in 2 weeks when Brooklyn
No, I don't think
Chase.
we're going to have Spencer for a few more weeks. We're not going to have Spencer.
I think that it might even be a year. Thank you very much, Carolyn, for your third super chat contribution in the history of the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodness. Oh, what a lucrative job I have now. Figure out how to expand this full time.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. So, all in all, I don't think anything terribly disastrous is going to happen at this wedding. Just, they might even get through the wedding disaster free and then face one very shortly afterward.
Well, I think the wedding part's going to be okay and they're going to get married. I think the reception may be a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they look at the cheating charts too much.
They really are. There's been a lot of time on the detailed planning of this wedding.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
kind
and
of for
on
it.
Friday, Lois had seating charts out for us to see and everything.
Yeah, so we're gonna put let's not put Jaws and Dex next together. That's gonna be a disaster. Let's see. Is Monica coming or is she? Monica's still too injured. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and cross her out. We're gonna leave her chair blank though. I think it's gonna be nice and honorable to put a sign to Monica Quartermain in the chair that she was supposed to sit in. All right. What do you think, Brooklyn? You want to continue to? I'll just fix it. I'll just finish it. You got something to do? Get out of here, Brookie.
Get out of here.
Hey, Lola's mom. And Cindas.
I love the character. I always have.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. And Kelly Publicover donating Canadian dollars.
Thanks, Kelly.
For Matt's mic fund. I passed the threshold from your generous anniversary donations that we received when it comes to budgeting for the mic. So keep your eyeballs open, folks.
Keep your eyeballs open.
One day soon, is going to be replaced. We all know how long it took for me to update my glasses, though. So let's keep
it ain't
that in
gonna take that long, Matt. Come on.
Hopefully it doesn't take that long. 34 people watching. Give us a like. Yeah, do that. Hit the thumbs up right now. Do it. I'm gonna watch this go up.
Do it.
I'm gonna watch the ticker tick. Cinda says that I don't think Nicholas Alexander Chavez is coming back, and I agree with you, Cindis. But when we talk about Spencer, we're not necessarily talking about Nicholas Chavez any longer.
No,
we're talking about
him as a character. Yep. I don't think Nicholas. I think with Nicholas is like I think with all actors when they have got themselves a new bigger break than what they're currently doing on the show.
Right.
A new bigger break. That's what's happened to Nicholas. After he's done with the monsters, he's going to keep his toe in the water and see how it's going.
Yeah, it's not like that production's going to end and he's like, great, let me rush back to Prospect.
No, he's going to keep his feelers out, see what else is coming his way. Now, 2 more years and he hasn't had some wonderful things. Perhaps he'd be calling Frank.
Yeah. Hey, bud.
Or,
hey,
who knows?
Man?
But we've seen that over and over and over again.
I was able to buy a car.
Actors.
Like, my parents are loaded, so I didn't have to worry about expenses. So when I started getting paid by you, Frank, I just saved it and bought myself a really fancy sports car, which is a true fact. Um, and I realized that I like having fancy sports cars. And as it turns out, I can't have as many as I want when I'm not on television. So if you could fire Drew Garrett, have me come in to play Spencer again, that would be great. I don't know what the
Well,
future
that's what I
holds.
think is going to happen, though. He's after he's done with monsters, he's going to see what kind of
Mm-hmm.
opportunities come his way, and if his opportunities aren't as lucrative or as many as he was hoping, perhaps he will double back and go back to Prospect Park. We've seen it more than once happen that way.
Yeah.
We've seen it, and other soap operas have
Oh,
it
yeah,
that.
it's a classic
As a matter
soaping.
of fact, we can even see years ago. We even saw Marty do that as Tad.
Yeah.
Tad, Michael E. Knight was on All My Children Forever. He did step away
Yeah.
and try to,
Yeah.
find something
Trying to
else.
become a leading romantic Hollywood
Yes,
movie romantic comedy dude.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
Tad the Cat, he disappeared for a little while.
He disappeared for 2 or 3 years,
Hmm.
and then what do you know?
Came on back and never left again.
Exactly.
Essentially. It's like, okay, great. So Dixie keeps on coming and going. How are we going to keep me interesting? All right, so Dixie's gone. Who we got? Who we got? Who we got? Brooke? Great. Okay, great, great. Excellent. All right, so let's run its course. Who's next? Who we got a new character? Crystal. Crystal's a new character. Okay, great. All right, Tad and Crystal.
Hmm. But that kind of stuff happens. And
Oh,
I don't know Nicholas Chavez as a person.
no.
I don't know how of a nice person he is or what kind of person he is. I have no idea. But I want him to find his super success.
Mm,
I want him to have a reason not to come back
yeah, why not?
and be Spencer, actually.
Why
For
not?
him,
Everybody
for
should
him
have a
as a
successful
person,
career.
as Mr. Chavez. That's what I want for him. I want his dreams to come true, that he never comes back as
Just like we
Spencer.
want everybody's dreams to come true.
Sure, sure. But if he does come back, that'd be great too. And I think that and I know Mark's pretty good at he's got a good reputation for casting.
Mm-hmm.
Does Mark will go out there and find us another Spencer, and we might even find out we like him even more.
Ooh,
You
wouldn't
never
that
know.
be a concept?
Could happen.
It's entirely possible. People have liked the second or third actor that played a character. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tony Geary took off, said Sandra. Made a movie with the Fat Boys. I think it was called The Disorderlies, she says. Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
lots of chat speculation about Chavez's future. Jeannie says that his money isn't going to last long. That it got for Monster, and that's true. If you're not continually working as an actor, then that money does dry up pretty quickly.
And especially if if you're the kind of person that got money, if money burns a hole in your pocket,
Yeah,
you're going to run out faster.
you're gonna run out faster. And if you're young and don't, I mean, I don't know him, so don't take this as an accusation because I don't know if this is the case. But if you're young and not careful, not thinking about the future, being like, ooh, this sports car, ooh, this fancy paint job, ooh, this radio, or whatever it is that comes across your mind, that money does go away, especially if it's not being refilled. A bank account that has $110,000 and it looks amazing. But if it's not having more money being put into it,
Yeah, and if you're spending a little willy-nilly,
mm-hmm,
and gosh, don't we know, if you live in the LA basin, your mortgage or your rent is astronomically high.
yeah,
If it isn't, you're one lucky duck.
yep, yep, yep. It's not like they haven't done this so many times before, like Jason Drew, Todd Victor. So when it comes to recasting and then bringing back the original and then figuring out how to, oh, it's a twin, it's a surgical alteration, it's, let's keep both guys, like it's happened before, says Melissa.
Sure.
Daisy is convinced that he's coming back to finish his contract. There is no contract to finish. That thing is done. It's null. It's void. They let him out early. So, if he chooses to come back, it would be under a fresh deal.
Yep.
Yep. A little update there on that. I heard that Nicholas Alexander Chavez unfollowed the cast, including Tabiana. I don't know why he would do that. Actors often follow accounts on projects that they work for because they are required to, not because they want to. It's all about social media marketing, all that kind of stuff. You see all kinds of people like Henry Cavill and The Rock who were working for DC as Superman and Black
And
Adam.
sure, and sure,
Wiped it all.
maybe he unfollowed her, right, on social media. That doesn't mean that he's not texting her phone call, her regular phone.
Mhm. It's
It doesn't mean that they're not friends anymore. Doesn't mean that they're
soap
not on
operas
each other's not on
also.
each other's social media.
Yeah, soap operas
That's all I
also
mean.
can carry a little bit of a stigma to them.
Mhm.
So to advertise yourself as this soap star and then be like, but watch me on Monster might weaken some public perception of his true talent or his trajectory or his genuineness as an actor. Because then it goes, oh, this soap dude, they got
But
somebody from a soap.
absolutely. And maybe it wasn't even his idea to unfollow him.
He
Maybe
could have
his
marketing
manager
people do it.
said, "Hey, you know what? We need to do this." Doesn't mean you can't call Taviana though, or text her and say, "Hey, girl, what's going on?"
But also at the same time, if you were to take a look at those young people's, young actors' Instagram accounts and social media posts and Facebooks, they update their lives. They put pictures of them at the horse races and at bars and dancing and going to events and watching rooftop movies. And you will
I tell you,
see.
I've seen, and I adore it. Don't get
Mhm.
me wrong. I've seen more pictures of Adam Huss's dog than I have pictures of my own dog.
Right. Because if they have an active social media presence, then they're giving
Yes.
that to the fans. But if you take a look at that content and you really think about who you are seeing in those pictures, you see TJ and Willow hanging out with Michael. You see the
Mm-hmm.
old dogs, on YouTube making their own shows, Ken Schreiner and Marcus Coloma and all them.
Mm-hmm.
You see Tabiana having a great time putting up dances, videos, modeling shots, time that she's spending with Eden McCoy,
Mm-hmm.
time that she's spending with the other guy, Dex.
Well, I tell you, I'm not too worried about the character of Spencer because there's nothing for us to worry about right now.
But do you
But
know who was never included in any of those pictures? And it's not because he was taking them. Chavez didn't spend any time with these people outside the set.
who?
Nicholas Chavez. He spent no time with them off the set. Nothing
No,
that
we
was
have
posted, at least.
no. The pictures we sent are clearly from Prospect.
Yeah, everything has been a professional shoot, either a prospect, on set, behind the scenes, in the hallways, or a photographer who got in touch with the Sprina fandom and worked out an agreement to invite these actors over
And
to their studio.
for anybody that's been to Prospect, you're going to recognize those places
Yeah,
because
you'll.
you've been there.
Yeah, I recognize the hallways and the soundstage and the alleyways between
Absolutely,
and all sorts of stuff.
all of it.
It did not come off in a public setting. I don't know these people. I don't know, but in a
Mm-hmm.
public forum, it did not come off as if they were close friends.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, and his following of these social media accounts was simply because it was required from the marketing team at ABC, it makes perfect sense that he would just
Yeah,
swipe it all when it's done.
yeah.
Ah,
But I am a little concerned about what they're going to do with our character of Trina. It just, I mean, I know that there was this grieving time and stuff, but now it's time for Trina to have a new
I
chapter.
think that's what we're getting with her new. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna save my money and get a place. And no, you should live with Jocelyn. Oh, that's a great idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I'm a dummy. I should live with my best friend. It'll be easier.
Yeah.
I think that with that is a bit of an emotional reset for Trina, a bit of a life reset. Let me put myself in a new environment. Let me give myself a new circumstance.
The General Hospital wants to save some money on set. Well, no one's living in Maxie's little apartment now.
I was confused as to where they were earlier in the week. It was the dinner. It was the dinner at Finn's house, and I was
Mm-hmm.
confused for a minute because they had all the bricks in the back, and for
Mm-hmm.
some reason it just triggered Maxie's house inside my head.
Because of the red and white bricks,
Right, and so I'm
black
just
and
like,
white bricks,
and
whatever.
I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is not the brownstone. This is not Elizabeth's house.
Mm-hmm.
Are they? Where is the? And it just, I'm like, they must be at Finn's. They have to be at Finn's. But I was never like truly convinced.
Right.
I was just like, contextually, they must be at Finn's house. I don't know why I didn't recognize his set. I don't know. Whatever. I'm weird. It's like I got used to him living with Anna. I think.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, because
And
they
now
were on
that
that set
set's
a
gone
lot.
because they burned it up.
Yeah, they burned that one up, and even then, like he was on that set a lot, even after the relationship. I felt like
Yes.
Finn was on that set often.
Well, they used that set quite a bit when it was Anna's house.
Now they burned it down.
They did. They used it quite a bit, and they used it a lot with Peter too. When Peter was there talking with her a lot.
Oh, Anna, you should
Yeah.
throw those papers in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Rochelle says sometimes your managers and agents want you to focus on promoting your future projects and not hang out in the past. There you go.
Makes sense.
There you go. There
Makes
you go. Case
sense.
closed. Case closed. Melissa says maybe Trina will meet a young Cirillo boy. And that is going to be the big indication as to whether or not we've got new, fresh stuff for Trina.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like resetting, putting her in a new place to live, a roommate with Jocelyn that isn't the dormitory.
Mm-hmm.
A little more breathing room, a little more space
Yes.
between them, and a little more distance from her emotional reaction to the loss of Spencer opens up possibility for somebody to come on in and be a little rebound.
Yeah. Yeah. Because of course, people were some fans were saying they weren't allowing us to see Trina grieve. Okay, a little bit of time has went by now. We have seen Trina grieve, and there's got to be something new and fresh for Trina.
Yeah.
Now, we can't just see her talking with Ava all the time or at the gallery. There's got to be something new for Trina soon.
Yeah, I feel like her most recent conversation with Ava was the beginning of moving on. Because it wasn't total. It was about what she wants to do next. It wasn't about I'm paralyzed, I'm stuck, I don't know what's going on, I'm just so sad, I don't even want to get up in the morning and go to class, I don't want to do anything. That wasn't the conversation anymore.
Mm-mm.
So, hopefully, that was Jason's apartment. That used to be Cyrus's house. So we've seen this set a lot, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Finn currently lives there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's not Jason's house or Cyrus's
It
apartment or
cracked.
anything.
Speaking of
Whoever owns it. Yeah.
Cyrus, that cracked me up this week, where it was very obvious our new writing team is not going with the whole Cyrus has a radio show way.
No, they're like Cyrus with a cult. No, we're not gonna do the religious cult thing.
No. And the way they wrote it was just hilarious for Cyrus. Like, I don't want to listen to myself.
Like, come to think about, I feel like the only stories that really survived the transition of writers is Heather's hip, Brooklyn and Chase getting married, and there's like one other thing that's still around that I can't really recall. But everything else, I mean, Christine is pregnant. Like
they kind of did a proverbial.
Yeah, but they did it in like a way that didn't make it truly seem like it went like that.
Yeah.
They moved things forward, I think, is
Yes.
what we got. But we moved things forward in a way in which it's really not resembling what it used to be anymore.
No, they moved things forward and did a swerve in the road, or on a couple occasions they just came to a dead end, like boom, done. We're not doing that.
Done. Like Robert and Diane really aren't hanging out. We haven't seen them in a long time together.
Nope.
I mean, I could go over the whole list, but you guys watch the show, so I don't have to. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to see where we're at now. And I'm again continuing to be excited for the future. Goodness. We're gonna talk about Dex, Mom.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about
it's the eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight. It's the glory.
The obstacle coursey thing was twice as long as it needed to be, because it was. It looked like okay, Matt. Do you remember the presidential test you took in the 8th grade?
Yeah. That fitness test.
Okay. Well, it kind of reminded me of that.
That's super funny. I agree with you on that. We said it a little bit at 9 a.m. for Days for Dummies, so check that out. We were really loosey-goosey, barely talked about days this morning, so check out that fun content. You just needed more space. That's all. Like if they elongated it so he could get a little further down.
I mean,
it would have been way different.
With the little, it would have been comedic gold. Of course, it wouldn't have fitted at all, but it was comedic gold to me. With the little orange cones.
Mm-hmm.
If they'd have put him on a tricycle, and had him,
This is my agility test.
and it was funny how he had to pick up the gun and put it in the circle,
Make sure.
fire it.
But then also at the same time though, he like I don't
Yeah,
get it. I never pretend to be a cop. I don't understand. Like
yeah,
how
it's like,
fast is his trigger finger? I don't know.
I don't know. I no gauging that anyway. It was lame.
It was a little bit lame. It was a little bit
A
lame.
little
It
bit.
could have been better, but it wasn't as bad as
Could
people are
have been
making it
better.
seem. You know,
It
people
could have
people
been
are
better,
people
but
talk about it as if they were like locked him in a closet and it's like, all right, man, you just got to hang out in there for 8 minutes, okay, with this girl, but you can't touch her. It's weird.
you know what would have been fun, sort of, because they do this, where you have to take a shot with a taser.
That would be what I want to see. But yeah, this is him. What
Oh
I
yeah, yeah,
found
yeah. With a
strange,
gun in the hole, yeah.
yeah, in the gun in the hole. What I found strange is his posture. What is this? Why are we not doing this?
Exactly.
Why
That's
is
how
it
you
not this?
actually
This is so
steady a
weird.
gun.
Like, I went to a gun range once.
Dang, Jason wouldn't have done it that way.
No, I went to a gun range once because I felt it was important for me to understand what a gun is like.
Hmm.
You know, so I went. Anybody can go.
Hmm.
You can go and sign up, and they're like, "Great, watch this video," and I'll go in there. Don't hurt anybody. Like, it's kind of wild.
Oh, I went to a gun range a couple of years ago, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It was more than that. There's a gun range out on the edge of Tracy, California.
Yeah.
There's a big gun range out there. And I went out there with your
Yeah.
sister. I didn't shoot a gun. I chose not to.
Mm-hmm.
It's Melissa and Tori
Yeah.
out
That's
there shooting
Tori.
a gun.
That's a second mention from one little Tori today. Hey,
And me and Robin went out there with them, but I didn't shoot the gun. I wasn't interested. I just wasn't interested in doing that. But yeah, you're right. You can pretty much any old buddy can go over there. Pretty much any old buddy.
Daisy contributes that Nicholas Chavez, just to close that out, is still following Eden McCoy on social media. Following one actor means nothing.
Maybe that was who he was closest to on the and
I can tell you from things that I have heard from behind the scenes that yes, she was the one that he was closest to. But still not enough to share pictures on social media of things that they were doing together. So, how
yeah.
important must that relationship have truly been? I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm not an actor. I don't have to think about marketing every moment of my day, you know? I don't have to
No.
think about how, well, is this picture going to affect my chances of getting this audition in 6 months? I don't have to think about that stuff.
Oh, I tell you, I know that some of the chat can agree with me. It's a good thing there was no social media or everybody had a damn camera in their pocket in the 1970s and 80s. Wasn't that nice?
Just, can you imagine where we would be culturally if that was the case, though? All of the struggle that we're going through right now, trying to figure out how to be a society with this technology, would have been figured out by now, and it would be a wholly different world.
It's true.
Because I can see a little bit of a change in the sensibilities of even online people. People are getting tired of it. Like, I can tell. People are getting tired of the constant surrounding of negativity and ads, invasion of personal data, and
Oh, and then put the presidential election nonsense on top of all that crap too.
right. I feel like people are getting to the end of their patience with the experimental nature of what social media is like. And I feel like as, you know, we face the next 20 years to 30 years, we're going to see massive shifts in cultural approach to being on the internet.
There's been quite a few people that were excited about it for the first few years and now have stepped away from it completely and say it ain't for me.
Yeah, it's just such a horribly negative place. It really is. It really is. It really is. And I think that
But it doesn't have to be though.
it doesn't
But it
have
is.
to be. I think that with anything, a generational turnover is a big thing that shifts stuff. Generational turnover essentially means when the old people die. Because when that happens, then the young people have to replace them. And the young people have different ideas.
And then the young people find out what you are is not young anymore.
And the young
Recently
people,
happened to
well,
me.
but it's called generational turnover because it continues
Yes.
to happen. Then the young
Yes.
people now get a little too old from what the current crop of young people are up to, and then they have to age out, and then the young people take over. That's why we have that 20-year cycle of vintage, of
Yes.
nostalgia. In the 70s, you have shows about the 50s. In the early 2000s, you got shows about the 70s. You know, like
Yes.
it's that
Yes.
turnover. It's that
Yeah.
turnover.
And I think what really started that when it comes to entertainment was Happy Days.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what a wildly successful show.
Yes.
Good job, Henry Winkler. Still famous to this day.
Hey.
E. 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 I saw this fun parody of Happy Days, a zombie apocalypse, in which
Uh-huh.
Fonzie accidentally started the zombie apocalypse because Ralph had died and he turned Ralph back on by elbowing him. And so Ralph was like, eh, bray. And then they're like, Fonzie, do something. He's like, I can't. I can only turn things on. I don't know how to turn them off.
Oh gosh. So silly.
It was so dumb. It was so dumb.
So I tell you though, I tell you who he's dastardly and he doesn't deserve my concern, but I'm starting to get really concerned about Mr. Michael Corinthos. I really
Who are
am.
you concerned about him?
Yeah, I'm talking about Michael Sonny Corinthos.
Oh, that guy. Okay, so I was like, what? I mean, because he can fix a stove?
My
You got a problem
Sonny,
with Michael because he can
Sonny,
fix a stove?
my gosh, what are they going to do? There's a big things going on with Sonny.
There
Sonny
is,
is spinning out of control for one thing.
you know how I sit here and constantly tell people that they're dumb and they're being lied to and they're idiots for believing things. You know how I'm just really mean and rude and like that. No, I'm not like that.
No, you're
That was
not.
me being sarcastic. Uh, there is what I consider to be a legitimate possibility that we may be seeing the downslide of Maurice Bernard on General Hospital.
I think so too.
With the way things are going right now and the lack of loyalty and just the extreme that he's being pushed to and such, with without without a big come to Jesus kumbaya between
Mm-hmm.
Carly, Jason, and Sonny, there's no real way to rectify this relationship as is. Even if they were to put the medicine back at its full 100%, Sonny still wasn't trusting what was going on.
No, no, things are so fractured in a way that has never been that way before. And I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to write Sonny to either go to some kind of rehab or jail.
So
I don't think they're going to kill him. It would be stupid to kill Sonny off,
no,
actually.
I don't know. It's. I guess it really depends on how interested Maurice Bernard is in returning. I think we talked about it on Friday or last week or something, but I mentioned that Angela, our own Professor Angela, had tweeted
Mm-hmm.
out there, "Hey, it looks like maybe one of
Mm-hmm.
two things: either we're getting a really great bipolar story, or Sonny's on his way out." Right?
Yeah.
And the reactions and interactions that she had with Maurice Bernard, which were very minimal after the tweet,
Mm-hmm.
but the reactions, retweets, interactions, all that made it seem like he was interacting with her information more off of this is his departure story than how fun is this.
I really, and Maurice has hinted to that, and not just a few months, but in a couple of years, he's hinted at that.
I have no idea what his deal is, because people say 16 weeks, 16 weeks. There's no way in hell they had Maurice Bernard only signed for 16 weeks at a time. So if he was talking 2 years ago, yeah, maybe I'm thinking a little about a retirement. That
Mm-hmm.
could have been when he signed his next 3-year contract and was going, I think maybe I don't want to renew this one when it's done.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
Because
These people were not there.
he's talked about how he really wants, he wants I mean, right now he has two careers going, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he wants to emphasize more on the mental on the mental health
You
portion
can
of his career.
you can see it in State of Mind, because he does that every week, and you can also see it in the stories that Sonny has been playing essentially since Max Gale. When Sonny's real dad, when Maurice Bernard's real father passed away, it seemed to have had an impact on. I didn't read the book, so I don't know. You guys probably know better than me.
When he wrote his book, his father was still alive.
Okay, okay, but it seems to have had an impact on Maurice Bernard as the man. When his father passed away, a bit of a shift mentally, a bit of a hey, life is fleeting, it won't last forever. Maybe I should make different choices over the last 30 years. I don't know.
And all of us, and all of us can say, if you've lost a parent, your life is never the same.
Yeah. So it's possible that it got him thinking, what do I want to dedicate the remainder of my life to? I gave so much of my life to General Hospital and to acting. Maybe there's something more that I can give to the world at large.
Right.
So it's possible that that's where he is. I don't know him. I've never had a conversation with him, so don't. I mean, I had sort of a conversation with him when I'm like, "Hey, you're really good, Mike, Sonny. Hey, thanks, man." Like that was it.
Yeah. Well, I learned with Maurice. I learned with Maurice, if you want to talk to him and have him pay attention to you for a few minutes and really talk to him, you got to talk about acting.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to talk about acting, and you've got and a couple of heartfelt compliments. Really good. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about being full of baloney. I'm talking about
Yeah.
you being real.
Yeah.
He'll talk to you and talk to you and talk to you, but try to go away from that.
Yeah.
Be dismissive. I've tested it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that first con, we talked about Sonny Mike. We talked about Smike, and he was like, "Yeah, I love you, super fun. Oh, next ball's great."
I brought up on that first meeting with Mo. I brought up a scene and talked about a particular scene and the different facets of that scene.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I got Maurice Bernard wanted to talk to Mama Cat.
Heck yeah, we got to get him on the show.
But I talked to him the following year and didn't do that and talked about something else. He was like, next.
Yes. Medora, I think that you hit the head, hit it perfectly on the head there. Maurice has stated that he loves the bipolar storyline, and Maurice's acting shows it. I haven't seen Maurice Bernard more engaged on General Hospital in years. He is eating this material up and having a great time with it. And if you do follow him on Twitter, he's very active. He will respond to questions about it. He even responded to me when I tweeted him, "Hey, God, this thing keeps on vibrating." Oh, somebody just flushed the toilet. How weird. Ooh, this house. Anyway. He responds to questions about the bipolar. How do you feel about it? And he's like, this is insanely accurate. This is what I've lived. This has been my life. I've experienced situations like this before. People are like, hey, like Sonny got real manic real fast. How could Sonny Corinthos not recognize the change in his own behavior? In which Maurice was like, times I've gone manic as Sonny is right now, it never occurred to me that I wasn't acting like myself.
And I think Sonny, the character Sonny, he wouldn't necessarily recognize all this stuff that is change, because his life has kind of been turned upside down right now. So it's responsible for everything. The situation is responsible for everything. So he wouldn't recognize that he's kind of going off the rails a little bit.
Yeah. He just feels his life extra tension.
He looks at his life has went off the rails.
Yes.
So
yeah, I can't trust anybody. Everybody that I thought I could trust is worthless. Yeah. Totally.
But they have had him say some things though in the last that's just not what Sonny would say. Like, for instance, having his men drag Carly back to the car. Old Sonny wouldn't have had anybody drag Carly. Old Sonny wouldn't have had anybody drag Carly anywhere.
I guess mid Sonny, because like old Sonny, which is what people talk about, like in 1995, like he would have. But like middle Sonny, that was married to Carly, no. But now,
Sonny
he
in the
doesn't
last
trust
10 years wouldn't have done that.
Now he doesn't trust her. Now it's all gone. Now it's Sonny's back. He's
Traitor,
bad.
traitor, traitor. Yeah, when he said that a couple of years ago, that was baloney. The crazy
But
Sonny.
now,
This is I don't care about nobody strip club Sonny.
yeah.
I don't care about nobody,
hmm
Sonny.
And then Anna, of course, she's really, 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 really doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down on this war against Sonny to a point where
Sure
she's just
is.
like almost grabbing Molly by the hair and pushing her head into the desk saying, "You are
Right?
going to
And
prosecute him."
I don't understand why
She
it's
is
so important for
so
her for it to be Molly.
convinced. She is so convinced that Molly is the only one with scruples.
That don't make no sense.
I don't know why she couldn't trust Robert to handle it
Right. Because she's saying it's conflict. Well, how can you be more conflicted
than a family
than
member.
Molly? That's her uncle, her blood uncle,
Yeah, yeah. So she
and
said
the
that.
father of her sister,
Mhm.
because Alexa got to have a baby by
She
every
said
brother.
both. She gave
Uh,
Anna every real reason why. And even then,
Absolutely.
oh my God, oh
And
goodness.
and honestly, her scenes with Anna,
So good.
and it might have been the fact that she
So,
had this great scene partner, you know,
and good material.
and good material. But the scenes of Molly and Anna this past week, I think, and I don't remember the actress's name,
I don't know her
was
name yet either.
Molly's best performance
I
so far.
agree. And I have an explanation as to why that might be in a really nerdy fashion. So get ready, folks. Strap in. Strap in. Yeah, it's pretty simple. When this actress took over Molly, she had nothing to do. She was
Right.
coming off a cast and cast. Get in here.
Yeah.
Whatever information she probably, I'm married to TJ. Alexis is my mom. Christina is pregnant with my character's baby.
hmm
Who is Molly? I don't know who Molly is. And the material that I'm given shows me that Molly doesn't like Christina. The end.
Uh-huh.
And now she's got this full scene with information, past, history, connections to other characters, and reasons why
hmm
that this actress hadn't had written for her before. And the expectation that an actor is supposed to take 6 weeks to write a dissertation about the history of their character is a ridiculous, unrealistic expectation.
hmm
So,
and also, I think Finola has some of the same qualities that Maura West does, and some of the other cast as
bring the
well.
best out in who's around her.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's performing is really interesting. You've experienced this. Performance is very much about matching the energy around you. It's just a part of it. It's just you can't help it. You can't help it. I
Yeah.
have a natural high energy when things start, but if I'm surrounded by lower vibrations, my enthusiasm is going to trickle down and
Slowly
probably
increase, huh?
match the groups. Same thing when it comes to acting. If the
hmm
if the talent, the energy, if the chemistry, all of that is there, it's going to inspire you to do even more, be even better, feel more real about what you're
Yeah.
doing rather than saying the line that's been written to you.
Yeah. Well, I thought the scene was beautifully done.
It was really, really well done, and it really gave a lot of really important perspective to Molly that we haven't gotten in a while, and
Right.
really established the kind of lawyer that she is. Like Anna's right. She is the one with scruples, so much so she's like, then I'm going to recuse myself. Commissioner,
hmm
not DA, Anna Devane.
And then Anna's response was, "Oh my God!"
Yes, like getting like, oh my God, Molly,
Yes.
why are
Yes.
you continuing to argue with the great Anna Devane about this? I've asked you to do this, so you are. Are we clear? you know, just getting frustrated with it. It's interesting.
It'll be interesting too. It'll be interesting too. Okay, to say, okay, so Alexis is going to get her law license back.
Yeah.
And she'll have a shared partnership
So that's
with
what this.
Diane.
So why is Anna so dedicated on getting Molly into the courtroom? It's because so we can get Molly into story. When
Yeah.
it comes to the
And
logical, does this
and
support
it
Anna's
would be
mind?
kind of
No.
fun to watch Alexis and Molly battle.
That's it. That's exactly it. Alexis is getting her law license back. What's the first thing that's going to happen? She's going to have to stand opposite her daughter in
Yep.
court. Putting Molly in here to prosecute Jason inserts her into the story. Now she can have scenes with Sonny and all of that, and bring more of the law and order side of things into this situation. It's good for Molly. It's a bit of a character promotion. It's going to give her a little bit more rounded out personality, things to do, and it's going to inform this actor on how to play this character.
Yep.
Unfortunately, in order for us to get there, Anna has to make a kind of confusing choice. But hey, the result's good. I'll forget the reason why it happened. I'm totally with it. Anna is the great and powerful Oz, says Melissa. Yeah, she's like, and I'm going to heavily encourage Robert that, you try this case, then I'll recuse myself. Oh my God. You naive, sweet summer child. I am trying to take a dangerous man off the streets. Yeah, but that's my uncle. Even if I were to try my hardest, who's going to believe I'm trying my hardest, Anna?
Oh, and when Sonny was giving a laundry list yesterday of people that had betrayed him, the people that he can't confide anymore when he was talking with Ava.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he doesn't even know it yet, but there's a couple of more on there that aren't on his team yet anymore either. He doesn't even know it yet. And one of them is Anna, and the other one is Laura. They're not Team Sonny anymore either.
He kind of knows. He kind of knows about Anna. I don't think he knows about Laura. And he definitely doesn't know that Cyrus and Dex made a statement to the police.
Nope.
But he did, because he went to visit Anna and he's like, hey, I want to press charges against you. Like, what charges you pressing against Jason? And Anna's like, what are you talking about? You're going to charge him with something and I want to help. She's like, you are a slime ball, bro. How did I not see this? How did I not see what a disaster of a human being you are?
I really hope, Matt, that and they're kind of leaning toward it a tiny bit to get your Cyrus story that you wrote a year ago.
I mean, I hope. So here's the thing. I want Cyrus to be Hannibal Lecter. I tweeted last week that he could join the PCPD now that he's directionless and become a criminal profiler, help them understand who it is that's committing these crimes, Yes. He's not a detective, he's not a cop, but he's an associate, he's a helper, and he's, a contractor,
whatever. He's contracted $150 an hour.
Right, I think that would be interesting. I don't know where they're going. I hope it's not the door. But I don't know.
No, it's not the door either. No, you can't let. I don't care. You guys, you writing team, you better
listen up. We know you're listening.
Yeah. Come on,
Patrick Mulcahy and Elizabeth Corday.
Come on, you cannot let Jeff Cobra walk out that door.
No, he's too big of a talent.
He's a huge talent. And we've all seen what he can do. Man. Do whatever you have to do. Grow out his ponytail. Whatever you have to do, just don't show Jeff the door.
No, we need Jeff Cobra. I want him here. Please do not get rid of Jeff Cobra. He is my father. He's my dad and he needs a job. Don't tell Daddy T. Now, imagine if Molly... Go away, stupid menu, so I can read Chandra's message. Now imagine if Molly is forced to handle the case and Sonny wants his brother Rick to work with Diane and Alexis. So messiness to the 100th power.
I love that. Actually, I've said this before. I'm all for Rick Lansing to come back in town.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something if everybody in town, Sonny perceives everybody in town, all his old cronies, all his enemies, and the person that he always couldn't stand was always trying to run him out of town. His own brother Rick is his only ally now.
You gotta help me, Rick. Gotta help me. Help me keep my stuff. Melissa says, Cyrus, is about time you had a mystery kid pop up. And you know what, Melissa, that's interesting. Because I was watching this week. And there was something. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. Maybe it's just hope. But there was something in that conversation he had with Dex that made me think, what if? What if? And then I started thinking about how this would be better than him being Jason's kid. Because having him be a Collins, not even a Collins, but a Gray, essentially, rather than a Quartermain, opens up so many more possibilities for him as a character when it comes to pairings.
Yes.
Because the Greys aren't really, the Greys are connected to Laura. The Greys are
Yeah.
connected to Cyrus. And those are the only two that are on the show currently. I know that Lulu is connected and she's alive, but she's not on the show. I know
Yeah.
that Nicholas is connected and he's alive, but he's not on the show. Same thing with Lucky.
Yeah.
And I don't know of any other kids that Laura had.
No, Lucky just has Nicholas and Lucky
Yeah.
and Lulu.
Yeah. And then
Or
when it
just
comes to
has
like,
those.
and Cyrus didn't have any kids, Marty didn't have any kids. I don't know what the vining situation is, but they're not blood related, so it's a little less important, especially with Dex
Like
potentially being a Grey.
when Laura's little sister Amy was on, she never had a child. Amy never had a child. She was too busy being like she's too busy being like the other Amy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just stirring the pot at the nurse's station.
Daisy saying that Dex is not Cyrus's kid with a period as if she knows.
Well, I do think that they're going to wind up having Dex be attached to somebody somehow.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I don't even need it to be Jason. I don't even need it to be Jason. I do want it to be Cyrus. Dex is not Cyrus's kid, Daisy says. But you know what? You know what's fun about soaps, Ma, and the people who watch it, and the people who join us here in the chat every week, is that all of us could be absolutely correct, or the most wrong we've ever been in our lives.
Oh, we've been most wrong many times.
We have been wrong. We have been right. You guys have been wrong. You guys have been right. It's entirely possible that Dex is nobody's kid.
I tell you whose kid is idolizing him right now and thinking he's pretty cool and jumping into his bedroom and putting on his jacket even.
Danny.
Danny is idolizing his father.
Danny.
He was looking at his aviators. I was ready for him to put those aviators on too. He had the jacket on, and then his dad walked in. To have the glasses on at the same time would have been committed, actually.
we weren't going for funny in that moment. We were going for Yeah. Dex is a lot like Jason in some ways. Yeah. Dex is a lot like Jason in some ways. I think it's entirely possible that it could be a secret Jason kid that he doesn't know about. That's a possibility.
I think it could easily be a secret Jason kid. I do.
Just as easily be Jason's kid as it just as easily could be Cyrus's kid, just as easily as it could be Curtis's college roommate's nephew.
Dex could be a Quartermain. He could be AJ's.
Yeah, he could even be the I don't know, anything. Gosh darn it, he could be anything, and that's the fun part. Daisy continues, Dex's paternity has to have some sort of significance. I'm going to assume that is to support her assertion that Dex is not Cyrus's kid, so therefore my logic must conclude that you do not think Cyrus is significant enough of a character to be Dex's father, and I, Daisy, disagree.
I wonder when Marty's going to come back to town.
I don't know. Michael E was doing something. I guess when that's over. Daisy says Cyrus is not that important. That's how you make him more important. Give him good.
Well, Cyrus is not important now in story as he has been in the past.
No, he's still. I think that he has the potential to be incredibly important.
I'm glad they decided to not make him a cult leader. Yeah. I didn't want him to be a cult leader. I really, I would actually like to see them steer away from the whole religious thing to a certain degree.
You're just being sensitive.
Huh?
You're just being sensitive.
I don't know about being all that sensitive, but I don't know.
You don't want the word of the Lord corrupted to inspire a villain.
I don't want it. I guess I don't really want it to be made fun of.
Well, I don't see Jeff Kober as somebody that would be openly willing to give his all to a project that's making fun of spirituality.
No.
Because he's such a spiritualist himself. However, the shadow workings of somebody, the underside, the underbelly, what you say in confession, is a very real part of the human existence.
Yes.
And is a very real part of spirituality and following a religion. So what's the right thing to do, in these situations, right? Mm-hmm. Do we only tell the good stories, or do we tell some bad stories to help shine light on good stories? Same thing with like the bipolar thing, like, oh, how could,
Yeah.
he was fine. He was being medicated. They were showing such a great way, somebody living with bipolar and getting through and da da da. Why are they doing, like, it's always his medicine, his medicine, his medicine, his medicine is getting messed with again. Because it's important to show those sides of the stories too. Can't really see the benefit of the medicine if you don't see the disaster behind it.
I tell you what, yeah. I got my own story with that crap. My dad was bipolar. He didn't get medicine until he was 65.
Right.
I had 10 years of my dad not being a creep. Okay. and I had all those previous years where he was kind of bing bonging in his bipolar.
Yeah, so you know it. You recognize the look in the eye and the beginning
Yes.
of the losing of control and the, oh gosh, I hope today's a good day.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sure
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah. No, I totally get
Didn't
it.
know what it was, but my brother and I used to call it, he's turning into the Wolfman.
Oh, the Wolfman. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, how interesting. But like before, there
That's what
was
we used to call it.
studies and names for things and all kinds of, like prominently known names. I'm sure bipolar
When we
disorder
were little
existed in the
kids, when we
70s.
were little kids, we saw it as that glazed over look right before Michael Landon as the teenage werewolf from the 1950s starts to turn
Mm-hmm.
hair right before the hair starts popping out. That's the look.
This the
They're
wolf.
there, but ain't nobody home.
That's the wolf. That's the wolf. You got Chandra's sympathies for the experiences that you had. Daisy says that Cyrus is a good character, but if they were to cut people from the cast, his character can go and make a ripple. I mean, I couldn't argue with you on that. If they were to cut him right now, it wouldn't make a ripple. I just want him around because I think that he could have more potential. Just
Absolutely,
just
I do
because he's
too.
up to not
You're
much
right.
right now.
If they were to give Jeff walking papers today, when it comes to story, you're right. It would hardly even make a ripple. But the possibilities, Jeff Colbert is so good.
He's so good, and I think that they really do have a lot of potential with the character of Cyrus as well. It's just open-ended right now with any sort of
Mhm.
different possibilities that they could do. I wanted to see him join the LGBT youth center that Christina's opening. However, they haven't even mentioned LGBTQ initials in months, so
We
I'm not
don't
even
know.
sure that's still happening.
That's true. That's true. And they could put a kibosh on it pretty easily if they wanted to. Some kind of conflict of this and that. And now we can't
Easily.
do it for whatever reason.
It
And
was
then,
funded by Sonny money. Sonny's in a lot of trouble right now. You really can't do this.
right, it could
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Dex being a quartermain,
I
what's
do
up against
think, though,
Michael?
I
I
do
don't care about
think,
Michael.
I do think in the future, we're going to see those two sisters fight over that baby.
Yeah, yeah. It might
Yeah.
even start during. I mean, this trial thing might even be the rift.
Yeah.
The big
It's
rift.
going to get ugly.
How could you do that?
And,
Laura's
and,
blasting
and
Sonny,
the,
but supporting Cyrus and Heather.
and the foresighting that TJ had that he didn't mention.
Mm-hmm. Cyndis, I want you to tell me how many people Sonny Corinthos is responsible for the death of, and I want you to tell me how many people that Cyrus and Heather combined are responsible for. I want numbers, and you will see why Laura is less willing to help Sonny out and a little more willing to help Cyrus and Heather. Also, you have to keep in mind Cyrus and Heather, a family.
Yes. Even Heather is.
Even Heather, because Heather is the second grandma
Yes.
to Ace.
And she has a long history with Heather because Heather used to be married to her uncle. There was a time where Heather was her step aunt.
So Laura actually does know Heather pretty well and can
Yes.
know the woman she used to be versus the one she is now.
Yes. Now, I do think that Laura has on some rose-colored glasses right now.
Yes.
And she's empathed herself into a corner of maybe being stupid.
It might not work out the way that she wants it to. I think that it's just not going to be as easy as she hopes. I don't necessarily see Heather getting out and then like slaughtering half of the cast. Like everybody needs to get off of that mental idea that they're going to kill half the cast. That's not happening.
I want Heather to be redeemed, sort of, kind of.
I have to continue to fiddle with the Mike Kelly because it keeps on buzzing.
Yeah. But you probably weren't on quite yet, Kelly, but Matthew says, keep your eyes peeled on that mic.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, no, Kelly was the one that donated the Canadian dollars to the mic fund. So, yeah, she knows. She knows. I just got to pull the trigger on ordering it, really. And see, YouTube is slow because YouTube takes over a month to pay you out once you hit the thing.
Holy moly, really?
Because they send stuff out once a month, and we just happened to cross the threshold just after the previous payout.
I see. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But all that means all these YouTubers, though, once a month, are getting like hundreds of thousands of dollars just thrown at them. Just here you go. Here you go.
Yeah.
You want your $102,000 for this month? Great. Don't spend it all.
Oh boy, you had to be crazy to get that kind of money.
To spend all that money in 4 weeks? Yeah, I would think that.
No, I'm talking about earning it. You do have to have some crazy YouTube presence.
You know, people are drawn to idiocy. They're drawn to people being uncomfortable and rude. They're pretty much drawn to like F-boys and douchebags.
It's just
human.
I
think that honestly that's youth culture. Instead of having Tiger Beat magazine plastered on your wall, you're scrolling Instagram and following the hotties that you like.
Pretty much.
And then everybody likes a bad boy. Everybody likes one that's like, I'm disrespectful. I spit on people. Ooh, that's so sexy. Like people like that kind of stuff for whatever reason.
Yeah, I guess they do. I personally do not, but I've had a few more revolutions on this hot ball than a lot of people have.
Kelly is, oh man, Kelly, you're smart. Chandra's always on it. So Kelly says I should use her donations to get guests. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to say, hey, I've got 10 Canadian dollars for you. Chad Jewell, want to come on and talk about Michael? And then Chandra says, you can help Matt get his mic quicker by purchasing a virtual copy. And that's true. I can withdraw that once a week rather than once a month.
Oh, wow.
You're on it, Chandra. Laura siding with Esme after what she did to Cameron, Jocelyn, Spencer, and Trina when the 3 or 4 of them were her family. Okay. Esme was also her family. Who's she supposed to pick?
Yeah.
Like, it's logic. It's super easy.
That's her grandson's mother.
Yeah, it's super easy to follow the logic. The expectation that somebody is going to be like, you made a poor choice. You were really mean to a couple of people. Get the F out of my life forever. And you know what? I'm going to break your neck on the way out. Like, that's
only Sonny does that right now.
Yeah, that's not even typical soap response. Off the show. You drugged Trina. You're off the show because I'm Laura and I've said so. It doesn't. Where's the drama?
Yeah, oh man, the Sonny thing really just has me really like, wow. Because man, they are writing it as if he's like in the eye of a locomotive coming.
Yeah, he's just standing on the tracks.
Yeah,
just standing on the tracks when the train's coming through, butthead. What movie is that from?
Feels like. I don't know what this future of Sonny holds.
She is supposed to pick the victims.
He might wind up in some kind of facility or jail.
Hey, Daisy, who was the one that was locked in the attic of Windermere for several months while pregnant? Kept away from prenatal vitamins and proper care for a little while until someone was finally convinced to go up there and do it. Eventually had to escape by jumping off of a roof and ultimately losing her memory and potentially her life and baby in the process. Which character was that?
And she got stuck with that Christmas tree with toilet paper for garland.
I'm pretty sure that was Esme. And I understand that she did some not nice things. But good God, she was held hostage. She's also a victim.
She was a victim of Nicholas's. Absolutely.
She was a huge victim of Nicholas. Her dumb little young brain was like, let me bone him. And his adult mind was like, get in this attic. Like,
well, as soon as
I'm not saying that we need to forgive Esme, but in the grand scheme of shit, she did nothing. She gave somebody pills and took a video. Oh no.
I think her Yes, that was the terrible, terrible things but she was more she reminded me a lot of her mom, Heather, to a certain degree, very manipulative, very
Mhm.
just changes,
Her biggest threat that she offered to General Hospital was splitting up Sprina.
Yeah.
That was her biggest threat that she offered.
Oh, and I think actually the worst thing she did, Esme, was to that Oz guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
that
the
was a little
worst,
far.
worst because she gave him drugs and was standing there waiting, just sitting there waiting for
But
him
he
to
was
die.
also a grown ass man who was a terrible effing person, a criminal, a drug dealer himself.
Yes.
When it comes to like, ooh, I can't believe you did that, like, she could have picked a more innocent victim,
Mm-hmm.
you know? You know,
Mm-hmm.
even Portia put that guy's life on the line by trying to wake him up too early. That guy could
Mm-hmm.
have died rather than give him the information. But oh no, Esme is the bad person.
Mm-hmm.
Portia was doing the right thing. She was trying to help Trina.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's tough. It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the grand scheme of things, nothing was done to her. Then why are we so upset? If she did nothing and nothing has been done to her, why do we care?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's just an interesting topic, you know, because I'm, like I keep on saying, we don't have to forgive her. There's no reason to necessarily forgive her. What she did was still bad and wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but she wasn't a silo of villainy.
Esme?
Yeah,
No, I don't think so either. And I think she was very manipulated by her crazy father, Ryan,
totally, totally.
for all the crap that she did.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And what was she really doing? She was trying, she
She
was
was
just
pushing his
desperately
agenda.
looking for someone to love her.
Yeah, Trina was represented Spencer separating from her because he had fallen hard while in a relationship with her, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it didn't start with the right reasons, she liked him and he liked her.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you know, we could belabor the point forever, and
All
still
I
not
know right
convince
now
anybody.
is all I know right now is I hope she swam as well when she got up when she jumped off that boat as when she jumped off the parapet. I hope she swam just as good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, Chandra, you shared the shared the link, and then Kelly apparently is just loaded on drugs because she continues to send us money. Thank you, thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly.
Oh goodness, he had it coming. Who had it coming? He tried to make her trade her body. He went full Cassidy. Ah, okay. She's talking about Nicholas, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Jarly, good, interesting name. I think we know exactly who you support. Wants Sonny to flee to the island. And that's the proper end to Sonny.
Oh, well, that's not a bad idea. It makes it really not messy and makes it very easy for him to return. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually, I like
Yeah.
it
Yeah. You can go hang
because
out in Puerto Rico for a while.
I don't want Maurice necessarily to be gone forever. I want his dreams to come true too, of
But he
course.
can run his business from the compound in Puerto Rico.
He could.
Not that far.
Just don't take Ava with you because I want more to stay right
Yeah,
there
right.
in Charles.
You run my in city
Don't take
business.
Ava with you. Ava's too good. Too good to watch me bad.
We can end the Esme talk with this statement because Daisy continues. I still think that she killed her step parents. It's entirely possible that she did, but we don't know that yet. And until
No.
it's confirmed, we can't hold that against her.
No, but yeah, they did allude that to maybe, and I think the person that really could have told us that they didn't give her the opportunity, and we only saw it a couple of times was
Maggie,
caretaker Maggie.
Maggie over in
Maggie
Ireland.
would know, I think,
I've run away from him.
and
He's coming
Ryan would
after
know
me.
probably, but Ryan ain't around.
I think that it's more likely that Ryan killed the parents.
I think so too.
But it also really depends on what they intend to do with Esme if they ever even bring her back. Because as it stands right now, folks, complaining and arguing about it doesn't matter. She's not on the show, and Esme is dead.
Right now, Esme is dead as a doornail.
As much as, we might expect these characters to come back, and we're just waiting on one thing, recast, something, time to pat, whatever it is that we might be waiting for, anticipating these characters to return. As it stands right now, they're dead. We treated
Mm-hmm.
Jason as dead the 2 years he was gone. Why are we not going to be treating Spencer and Esme the same?
Exactly.
It's not a foregone conclusion anyway. I think Maurice Bernard would want Sonny to be in treatment. I've heard a couple of different
I agree.
ways that Sonny could be going out. If he were to go out, Brenda takes him out of town. He dies. Like I think Maurice Bernard was like the only way to get rid of Sonny would be to kill him. All the stuff he's done, how could he live? Like I think he said that.
Yeah, but the island's a good idea.
It is. It is.
Island's a good
Charlie
idea.
is heating up. Their scenes lately are so sexually charged, says Melissa.
Well, I don't. Yeah, they are to a certain. I'd see them more emotionally charged than sexually charged right now.
Yeah, yeah. I found their scenes in Kelly's Bobby's after the
Mhm.
the oven situation
Yes.
to be like these. This is different. This
Mm-hmm.
this isn't this isn't the same Jason and Carly energy that I got.
Not.
Like even when they were romantic and getting married, it wasn't the same Carly and Jason energy that I got. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if it's Steve Burton. I don't know if it's Laura Wright. I don't know if it's everybody as a group coming together and having a discussion. But there is something different about this.
I wouldn't be surprised if Laura Wright and Steve Burton has not had a lunch or two to talk about this kind of stuff. And I know for a fact the two of them are good friends.
Yeah, well, they have been since Guiding Light, right?
They are good friends. So
So, yeah, well, from my
they would be
understanding,
rehearsing together. They would be chatting.
if you want to lean into the GH conspiracy theories, from my understanding, Steve Burton and Laura Wright have known each other longer than Steve Burton and Maurice Bernard have. So if you
Mm-hmm.
want to lean into conspiracy theories, maybe something like that might be coming into play when it comes to the current setup of stories.
I wouldn't have been a bit surprised that when Steve Burton moved out of his house, moved away from Cherie,
He
he
came and
didn't he didn't
slept
go over there to Wes and Laura's house
Wes and Laura's house and crashed on the couch.
for a little bit.
Yeah, it's got a
Wouldn't be
beautiful
surprised.
view too. I'm pretty sure I know what house it is that they live in due to the job that I had. It's
Hmm?
beautiful. Oh my god, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a order came in the water. If anybody hasn't heard this story before, an order came in in the water filter company that I was working for, and the name on the order was Wes Ramsey. And I'm like, how many Wes Ramseys can there be on the freaking planet, right?
Hmm?
And so I looked up the address, and it
Go
was
Google the address.
I googled the address, and it was Southern California. It was a beautiful beach property with a wonderful view and all that. And I'm like, I think this is the real Wes Ramsey. I don't know
I
for
would think
sure.
so. I think it was. I think it was. Now, if it had been like a normal little LA bungalow,
Mhm.
1,500 square feet,
I'd have been like, maybe not.
maybe not.
Maybe, but maybe not. Because like I learned recently that you've been to my neighborhood in Sherman
I sure
Oaks.
have.
To be specific for everybody who wants to dox me. Um, the from Sterling K. Brown lives in the area. I've never seen him,
Hmm.
but he lives around here, and it is not, mansions.
No, but Matthew, your neighborhood and a lot of other neighborhoods around there, it feels like old Hollywood in your neighborhood
Yeah, it's
because it's a bunch
very
of
quiet.
pretty well taken care of mid-century bungalows.
Yeah, yeah, it's very quiet. It's a nice little neighborhood to live in, a little section of town that I'm in. On top of that, as well, there are a couple of properties in my neighborhood that have pretty high walls. And it's
Mhm.
difficult to see into their yard. Like you can't see into their front yard, backyard, side yard, nothing. Like it's a
Right.
little bit of a mini compound.
Mhm.
So there's even like no cars in the driveway and stuff like that. And so
Mhm.
I'm assuming, without knowing, somebody with a couple of bucks lives there. And somebody
Wouldn't
who
it
wants
be
to say private
hilarious?
lives there.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if you ran into Sterling in the store tomorrow?
Wouldn't it be nuts? Just going on a walk through the neighborhood, and I'm like, Sterling King Brown walking his dog? Sterling, you're a wonderful actor. Don't do any more alien movies.
Wow, love
I've seen you on your new show. You worked with my friend Desmond.
you. What new show
Jason
is he
is in
on?
love with Carly. It's true. It's true, Michelle.
What new show is Sterling on?
Well, it's made by the same people that did This Is Us, but it's a completely different concept.
Okay.
I don't know if we learned the name of the
Wasn't
production.
he doesn't he wasn't he a nominee for something last year? Like something cool?
Oscar? Maybe I don't know. I'm not really not following his
I
career
don't remember.
too closely. But I don't think we got the name of the production because it's in like we're shooting the pilot type of.
Oh,
We're
okay.
shooting the pilot, but we're pretty sure it's going to get greenlit on Amazon type of
Mm-hmm,
thing,
mm-hmm,
you know. And so it's a big production, but it's an under the dome series. It's
mm-hmm.
type of this community is separated from the rest of the world and it's futuristic, blah blah blah. But it's made by
Oh,
the same people that did This Is Us, so I guess it's still gonna be a bit of like a
I
dramatic
saw
family
every
thing,
single
but the
episode.
concept is a little more like out there rather than just being a family, you know.
I like it.
But beyond those details, I don't know nothing.
Hmm.
Not a thing. I don't even know the name of it. I can't even guarantee this actor is actually a part of it, and I'm not thinking of a different production. Oh, goodness.
One particular person that's on TikTok that I look at her quite a bit, and she's saying like when she goes to LA, she's from Massachusetts, and when she goes to LA, she says, "Oh, I saw so and so, and I saw every time I go to LA, I see celebrities." Blah blah blah. Okay, sure you do. I'm sure you do. Ordinary folks don't. The reason why she's seeing all these celebrities is because she's going to these very affluent places,
Right.
very fancy restaurants,
Mm-hmm.
very plugged in places
Mm-hmm.
that celebrities go to
Yeah.
because she is such a big influencer. She's going to these places.
Yeah.
If she was going there before her fame, she would not see a damn person.
Probably wouldn't even been let in the front door.
And Matthew, how many celebrities have you really seen since you moved down there?
Two?
Exactly.
I
Now, if
think.
you were going somewhere, if you were going to dinner places where your bill was $1,500, $2,000 that night,
Much more likely to run into somebody.
much
Much
more
more
like.
likely. However, if I wanted to, I could 3 times a week go eat at Ken Schreiner's favorite restaurant and probably run into him.
That's true.
Because he shared
It's
what his
not that
favorite
far from your
restaurant is.
house.
No, he shared what it is. He says he goes there a lot.
Yep.
But that's it. I've been, whenever I get out there, I try to keep my eyeballs open.
But you
Like,
just don't see anybody,
I know.
huh?
I'm like, hey, is Taj Bello here? No, no, darn.
Not going to Ralph's today. Oh, darn.
Evan Hoffer, you here? No, no, darn. Not Ralph's. Dang, he doesn't live around. Just for clarification, because this came up in the chat, no, Steve Burton was never on Guiding Light, but he met Laura right when she was on Guiding Light, when they were being, soap actors together at fan events, conventions, Super Soap Weekend, that sort of stuff.
Back when they did all those Super Soap Weekend stuff that used to be quite prevalent, well, then they weren't necessarily team on the same show, but they did events together and they got to know each other that way.
Yeah. Yeah, and plus, soaps are all often known as a very, insular, sheltered community, pretty much, and so who knows how many times they screen tested together as they were trying to go out for similar roles at the time, and of the same generation, same actors, both white blonde people who look pretty together. It's entirely possible that they tested and auditioned together for all kinds of different stuff and just never got cast in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know these people. I don't know. It's a catchphrase. I'm going to put it on the banner now. We don't know these people. Is just what I'm going to put it up there. David Crosby, carry on. Sterling K. Brown was nominated for an Academy Award this year.
He was?
Mm-hmm.
I thought so.
The scenes with the arm and the tats was so intimate and so good, says Jarly. I think that I think the Jarly participant in this chat, which is the first time I've seen just Jarly. So welcome to the show. I think we're going to know exactly what they want to talk about every time. The love affair. Let's see. Murray said that he'd like to meet with Vanessa.
I'm thrilled that Jason is back on the show. I'm thrilled that Jason's back on.
He's brought continue to compliment the writing, but also having Jason back has brought a little more like, I don't know, what's the word? Comfort, tradition, expectation
Mhm.
to watching General Hospital. You know.
And I really do think, you know, how they had the scene where Carly, you know, says something about the tattoo. I really do think that since it is a complete sleeve, they kind of have to. I mean, it's just too big and present not to.
Mm-hmm.
And covering it up with full coverage makeup does not make any sense.
No, no, you would be like, all right, so we got to keep Jason in long sleeves. How do we keep Jason in long sleeves?
No, really haven't seen. We've seen Jason in his black shirt because you know the sleeveless he had on was black. The long
Mm-hmm.
sleeve he had on was black, but we haven't seen him in his typical black crew t-shirt yet. Not really.
I guess not. I guess not. Danny's taking over that outfit.
Danny just idolizing his dad so much. That is not going to.
So,
That's not going to sit well with Sam, and I don't think Jason's going to sit comfortably in it either. He doesn't want
yeah,
his son to romanticize his life.
I probably not. Listen, Danny, you need to sit down and listen to what I really did. Let me take you to this place called the Pine Barrens. Some things we need to talk about.
Well, he can do that without being totally graphic.
Oh,
He can
definitely.
still have that
Definitely.
talk.
Danny, you don't understand, okay? Do you remember being at the floating rib 5 minutes before it exploded? Do you recognize how lucky you are to have made it to this age?
Yeah, being my son
Mm-hmm.
can be dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Jason explained to Carly about his sleeve was tear jerky, says Kelly.
I thought it was too when he was saying that, you know, like thinking about this and thinking about that and individuals and thinking about Monica and 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 I was just it led me to think about my life
Mm-hmm.
where I had been blocking that out and half of the tattoo was complete before I let myself think about you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they say it's
But
not happening. Ha!
but I don't I do not think we're going to see a big Carly and Jason, you know, love scene. We're not going to see that for a while. I don't think so. They're going to have you remember how long it took Trina and Spencer to actually hit the sheets? Took a
Forever.
long time,
Forever.
forever. And
Forever.
I think it's going to be a while for Jason and Carly
Oh,
too.
yeah.
There's going to be too many situations get in the way.
We shouldn't. We shouldn't.
Too
We're
many
unified.
interruptions will get in the way. I don't know if this is really the right thing to do, might get in the way.
Shoot, we might even just get to a point where, like how we were describing Chase and Brooklyn, when they came together, of being together and not even really truly realizing it.
We might.
Just constantly, even more in each other's corner, never without the other, constantly going to
But
one another.
but the dynamics of even though they have that super close friendship still, the dynamics of them have changed.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It feels even closer,
It
honestly.
feels even closer, and that brother sister thing is starting to fall away.
Yeah, I really want to continue to point to that conversation they had after the stove. I think that's a prime example of the
Mhm.
new feeling we get. We'll see if it's
Yes.
consistent. The people saying out there things aren't consistent, so we'll see.
Hmm.
So we will see. We'll see. We will see. I think Laura Wright said in an interview that Carly and Jason will remain in the friend zone. There was an interview that she has not done recently. There's an interview that she did a long time ago that for some reason gets picked up and shared, and picked up and shared, and picked up and shared, and picked up and shared. And in this, she explains why she thinks the original Carly and Jason, when they were getting married, didn't quite work the way
Hmm.
that people might have wanted to or she wanted to and all that. And it was because the audience knew that Sonny was alive.
Right.
And with that looming, well, it's just a matter of time before Sonny comes back. There's no way for the audience to be able to really fully invest themselves into that relationship because
Mm-hmm.
Sonny is alive and they know it. But
Mm-hmm.
this was a year and a half ago when Sonny and Laura, Sonny and Carly, I'm doing the thing you do, Sonny and Carly were in a very different place with each other, in a very different place in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the
Mm-hmm.
case now. So what you
Mm-hmm.
had to say about why it didn't work then isn't why it wouldn't work now.
I agree. I agree.
But that's how I understand it. So,
The circumstances of story told is completely different today
mhm,
than it
yeah.
was then.
There's no looming, well, when's Sonny going to come back and ruin this on there? Because I don't think anybody's sitting around going, well, I expect Carly to just take Sonny back at some point. I don't think many people, some people are doing that because they're big Carson fans, but I don't think the audience at large is moving forward with that expectation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the audience want to see Carly and Jason really together,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of us don't. I think it's very split, actually.
I think that I think it's pretty split. Yeah, you're right. I think that when it comes to this split of yeses and nos, I
Mhm.
think the I don't care always outweighs it. Because I just don't think that most people have that strong of an opinion.
Uh-huh.
We do. We do. We always have. Settings being a tool. I didn't know it was an old interview. Yeah, I think it was originally done by Soap Opera Digest, and then Soap in Depth or some other thing picked up that interview and then like reprinted it, sort of
Yeah, one of
wrote a
those
fresh article,
ones.
right? Wrote like a fresh article and used the quotes on it, and so it made it seem like it was newer than it
Mm-hmm.
actually was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm again, I don't know these people, and I'm really not on Twitter as often as it seems like I am.
I'm more of a Twitter lurker.
Yeah, yeah, I hear that. Anyway, Mom, we've been podcasting forever.
Have we?
We have been. It's almost 1 o'clock.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
We've been
Oh my
podcasting
gosh.
forever. That's what happens when we start on time.
Yeah. Whew. I didn't seem like we've been on that long, but yeah,
No.
you're right. We have been.
So we're gonna go.
No wonder I have to go to the bathroom again.
So we're gonna go. We're gonna leave. I will love the story no matter where it takes us. That's a great way to end it. Thank you very much, Kelly.
I love that. Me
Mm-hmm.
too.
All right, folks. So get on that elevator, go back down to the first floor, get out of here. Get out. Throw a highball glass. Duck and dive, dodge and weave because the villains are back. It is not safe to return to your car any longer. So go quickly and dive right in.
Mm-hmm.
Then tune your radios to your favorite episodes of
Lock
the
the
10th Floor
doors
Podcast.
first.
Not even anymore. It's a button push.
Yeah, just lock all them 4 doors at one time.
Get in your cars and turn your radios to the previous episodes of the 10th Floor, which you can find on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. If you can't find it on your favorite podcasting platform, you can reach out to me on Twitter at 10th Floor GH and I will send you in the right direction. You can also send us an email at 10thfloorgh@gmail.com or interact with us on all of the social media platforms, though I don't really use very many beyond Twitter. Uh, So join in on the conversation. Give us a follow there. Give us a follow all across. Like us on your podcaster. Like us on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't and had a great time. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't and had a terrible time, but subscribe anyway. You can make a donation to the super chat or the super thanks if you would like. Just keep your eyeballs open for the little dollar signs that you can find all throughout your screen. Click on that and send us a little money. Support the show. What it does is upgrades equipment, keeps the servers running, makes it so, I can do this and have my mama on the screen for you all.
So, here I am again.
Yeah, if you want to do that, of course, buy me a coffee, ask Kelly how to do it. She's an expert. And get out of here. Go spend some time with your families. I've been Matt.
I've been Kat.
And we'll catch you next time right here on the 10th floor. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.